Hey guys. I think I'm back. Hey guys. Well, we got 3 watching. YouTube's changed sort of since last week, and I've got to sort of make my way around all the interruptions and tutorials, etc., etc., etc. Hey John. Hi Craig. Hey Ian. Machine NZ. G'day. Not very much happening this week. Very slack. Hi Tony. Good to see some new faces. Very slack week. Worked Monday. Messed around at home yesterday. Finished this yesterday. All done. Signature there. Gold leaf's all finished. It's looking pretty good. I'm really... Hey, Chris. Light there. But if we tilt this over, looking pretty good. Fairly pleased with that. It's all go, Chris. I'm going to apologise to you because apparently my patterns are nicer than yours. Good to hear. You'll have to up your game. Hey, Adam. Hey, David. From sunny UK. What is that about? Patterns arrived. The Stuart 400 patterns arrived in America this morning or yesterday, and yeah, Clark says they look pretty nice. Check out his channel if you want to see a video of him casting them. I hope he does something, but he posted a picture, a bit of a video of unpacking them, which is really nice on Facebook, and it was, yeah. Hey, Tommy, good to catch up with you last week. I hope you got home safe. Had breakfast Thursday morning with Tom from Tommy Gun Machining. Talked about his new shed, all his new toys that he's bought in Queensland. Man Cave Engineering, g'day. We expect updates from Tommy Gun Machining on all the new stuff he's bought. So this is ready to post, and I'm probably going to put a sheet of core flute front and back so it doesn't get bent. This stuff tends to bend pretty easy. It's actually Dibond, which is plastic inside, and then it's a composite aluminium on the outside, and then a composite plastic bonded inside. It's nice and solid, and it's not too heavy, and it's got a beautiful finish to work on. But when you drop it, it tends to bend. So I'm going to put a sheet of core flute front and back, I think, and tape it all up with bubble wrap in between. And probably a piece of timber across it to stop it getting too much being stepped on or whatever. And write no step in big writing on it, whether that makes any difference or not, and post it, and we'll see if it gets there. Because I'm traveling Fiji Air to the USA, which means we go through Fiji, and that's only 2 hours off the coast here. And because of that, it's only a little plane that goes out, a domestic style plane, and luggage is a bit limited, so I don't really want to take that with me. They'll charge me. So I think I'm just going to post it, and Stan can have it as a video backdrop for a couple of months. And it'll be out of my way. So that's ready to go. Really pleased with it. I've engine turned this gold leaf to some effect. I think this is probably better than the top. The top's sort of in the right light. It looks engine turned. This is probably a pretty nice job. It's all about timing when you do gold leaf. The time between when you put the size down and when you put the gold on, and then the time between when you've put the gold on and when you finish the top of it is fairly critical, and half hour each way and you'll get different results, but we'll live with that. It's a learning curve. Been sort of had a look at these, messing around. John Creasy has the spindle out of this somewhere, I think, to put a thread on this end and a thread on this end. And maybe, John, if you're feeling patient, you could make a nut to match. I'm not sure I put a bit of stuff in to make a nut, but if you haven't got anything when you're looking at it, I'll find something and send it down. I thought I had this tailstock for this, and it came out of the same box, and I thought they were part of the same thing. And when you look at them, without sort of paying a lot of attention, those keys look like they're probably somewhere near in line, and they're probably the same center. However, when you put them on the table, this one's about 4 or 5 mil out this way, and there's 4 or 5 mil out this way too. So this center's not much good really for this. So there's a couple of options for that. And what I'm sort of inclined to do is just get a block of brass or something and machine a V-groove in the top and put a dead center bar on it and a clamp down, like a clamp on the top, and the keys in the bottom, and hold or bolt it down. That's probably heaps good enough. So something like that will probably happen, and we might see if we can get a little bit shorter this way too, because the overhang here makes the 12-inch table sort of doesn't give you much room in the middle for a chuck, etc, etc, etc. So we'll think about that, but that's something that needs to be done. I don't think this can be modified really. It's off a grinder, and I'm not really sure if it's much good for anything, but we'll probably use the keys. We could probably use the center, but more likely we'll just make all new bits and make up a block of brass or a block of steel to bolt down, and then with a V-way the right depth so that it's on center here. Don't know if that makes sense. Someone wrote me an email and asked me about that, so just thought I'd have a look at that. The gear goes on the back here. This place looks like a bomb's hit it actually, and I apologise for that. Gear goes on the back here with the worm and the dividing plates. Thanks to JB from Oz, they go on here like this. Hey JB, we're just talking about you. So that's what we're working on. This is going to be, I've made a spindle and it's got the right hole through the middle for my collets, and it'll have the right thread on it for my chucks, and it'll have this with a keyway on the back here, and then a worm to operate these plates here, and this will be on a bracket that looks something like this, so that we can swivel it either over the top or down the side or wherever. And that should be quite a good little dividing head. We can put the the 3GL chuck on here if we need to. In worst case scenario, that's probably going to be pretty good. Otherwise, hopefully my 2 Sherline chucks will go on here, or any of my cullets. So that's the idea. That's something we've been working on and off for a little while. But I've got the gears, I've got the casting, I've made the spindle. But we will need to make a tailstock for it too. Other job for the mill, and I've been looking at this too off and on. I'm not even sure if this is where it's going to end up, but this is what I've got so far. Is a control box for a power feed for the X-Travel. Got a little stepper motor. This is probably going to need some vents in it, I reckon, in the back. And it's got a bracket here that'll bolt on the retainer for the hand wheel, and then I'll have a dog clutch and a hand wheel with a dog clutch in it, and a probably 2-to-1 reduction or something like that. So I should have enough power to drive it, just with adjustable things here and the switch. Probably even a 3-position switch, so we got forward, reverse and on. So this is a die cast box. It's got a bit of draft on here, which makes it difficult, but I want to machine an aluminium stand to go on here that bolts on the actual mill. That's going to be 12 volt, and it's also a work in progress, and it should work off the electric light system, I hope, on the mill or the VFD or something like that. We're still working out the logistics, but that's another project. Hey Max, not using the tail stack because it doesn't line up, that's all. It's 5mm out this way, 5mm out this way, so that's the only reason. It's off something else. They're not paired, so when you put them both in the slot, they're out. Or when you look at it, sort of half the hole, bit less. So that's why I'm not using it. So don't know what else. I made a bit of a resolution, and I feel bad because I haven't put a video out this weekend. I've done lots of things, but all little jobs, and nothing really conclusively completed or finished, or enough footage of anything to actually make a video. And I've sort of made a resolution to remain, or to stay, a project channel rather than a people channel. And by that I mean that I would like to produce videos that actually make something and even inspire people to make something, rather than produce videos that are all about people and values and personalities, which is sort of a grey area, the area in between. But I see channels, and I'm going to speak very briefly about that, but I see channels that are starting to push political and other agendas. This is a community that needs to be entwined together and compressed even as one, rather than actually actually be channels that separate or polarize people. And it's very easy to make that mistake and think you're doing the right thing, but this community needs to be brought closer together. So as far as, I made a political statement in a live feed a couple of weeks ago, and I lost a patron about it. Not sure why, but that person was offended, and I really did apologize if I had offended him, but I think it was too late, and I'm not sure what I said that really caused that. But I'm not going to be that person that brings other agendas in here. I've got a lot of other agendas I could bring in, and I keep them off social media because it's a smart thing to do, I think. So there you go. Having said that, project channels are the best ones. I'm not going to throw this out, Max. Check out Max's channel if you want an awesome project channel. It makes some pretty cool stuff. Machine NZ, lead screw off the launch. I have it here somewhere. Where is it? I have a new lead screw and a nut. It did arrive. I think it's still wrapped up. It's probably still at work, actually. But meant to bring it home, maybe next week. But that needs to be put in, and I haven't done anything yet. But it's getting worse. So there we go. I am a little bit upset that I would offend someone, but look, I'm all for free discussion, but when it's your way or the highway, well then it's obviously the highway with me. What else? Don't know if there is much. There's a million things that I probably am going to buy at some point when I've got some money. But at this point, I'm concentrating on getting booked to America. I've actually booked the train. I think I said that last week. I've booked the train to come down through California from San Francisco. Not sure what I'm doing in San Francisco. If I was 2 days earlier, Sturgeon's Mill has an open day, and I'd love to see that, but I haven't got there yet ever. Don't really want to spend a lot of time in LA. Apologies to anyone who does. But I'll be at the Summer Bash on Thursday to help with whatever I can, and probably just hanging around on Friday. So if anyone's there, blows in, I'll be around. I'd love to say hi. And Saturday we're definitely there. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Probably on the Tuesday, I'm going to try and get to the Miniature Craftsmanship Museum further down the coast towards San Diego. If anyone wants to catch up on that Tuesday and come down, it's a little bit out of your way. Some people live in that area, and I'm talking about Active Atom. If you guys would like to catch up, that might be fun. Be in touch or leave a message or drop me an email or something. Anyone else too? Frankie Robb said something about it. Might be a good fun day. So if you're interested, let us know. Trolley Museum. Been to the Trolley Museum. I might have to go again. Good one, Chris. Anyone else who got any good ideas to things to do in San Francisco? Let me know. The Launch is, back on the Launch. The Launch is a nice machine. There's no wear in it much, and it's not had any time or money spent on it really in the last 100 years that I can see. And the few jobs that I've done are well overdue, And really, they're starting to come together and make a very nice lathe of it again. There's things I still want to do. It still needs oilers. Let's have a bit of a look over here. It's actually unplugged, so we can't switch the light on. Still needs oilers. I've got 2 pipe fittings in here. Take care, Chris. Thanks for that. I've actually come east, the weather is better. Probably it is. I'd love to do that. The pin in here that stops the collets turning, I've actually sheared that. I've replaced it, but I only replaced it with soft steel, and I've sheared it because I was running a collet that was too loose, and that's my fault, really. But I'm going to have to make a proper hardened pin to go in there for the collet, so that's a job for soon. The thread cutting attachment's coming along slowly. I've got a box of bits there. Slowly, there's little bits that get added to it. We've got this here. It's not really satisfactory as a long-term solution. Anyone who watched the flywheel video on Patreon probably saw that this sticks out too far to be really very effective, to make this tool very effective. So what I'm going to do here is have this so that you can unscrew the screw and take this off, and we'll just have a brass or a steel plug that goes in here nice and flush with a screw in the end, like a top hat section, quite short. So you can put that back in, and it's still got a bush, but you can use this all the way out. You can use the tool all the way out without having this actually run into the work. So that's a modification that needs to be made, and it's not a big job, but we will do that. And they should be able to be swapped in and out. Probably not something you use a lot except on large diameter work, so you wouldn't put it in all the time, maybe. This hand wheel's got quite a lot of backlash, and I don't like that very much. If you look at it, it's got what? It's got worse again since I've been messing around with it, and I'm really not happy with it. So I think this screw needs to be done as a matter of urgency, and I'll try and get to that before I go away, and there'll be a video about that. I really would like some sort of a rack for collets, and oh, this is pretty crap. I've got this rail along here, which is on the side of the workbench. Maybe I could put something on there so they're up out of the dirt a bit. I'm still working on that, but maybe I 3D print individual collet blocks and have them clip on here somehow. That's just a thought. So that's the lathe. Poor Chris. He makes some nice patterns, actually. You can't please everyone all of the time. I don't know why Clark thought it was a good idea to please me, because I think he's going to be swearing at me by the time he's finished. Because there's some tricky patterns to mold up there. Pobble 78. Is it Pobble 78? Good evening. Good to see you. I'm thinking that a collet box is probably the smart idea, Max. Where they are at the moment was very temporary one weekend, and I think I need probably to make a box of some sort even, or I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. A rack might be good. Anywhere that's open is going to fill up with dirt. That's the problem. So it's on the agenda. Now I picked up a drawing machine. That's another thing that I eventually want to get some of my studio area sorted out enough so that I can set up a drawing machine in the stool and at least have somewhere to mess around on drawings or to read drawings or to display drawings or to do patterns for sign work and that sort of thing. And I bought a drafting machine. So that still needs a table and it needs a little bit of messing around. And I guess those things will turn up too. But if anyone's local and knows where there's a drafting machine table, hit me up. Competition updates. I don't know if there is one. We have all the prizes now and there are some updates on the rules, but I haven't done a proper update video yet. There's some awesome, well, there's one awesome entry and I know that there's some other awesome entries that are well on their way. Quicker you get them in, the more I can share them. How much does it weigh, JB? Apart from that, I think we're about done. We've pretty well covered it. There's not a whole lot more for me to say, but promise this next week I'll actually get some stuff done in the workshop, and some of these projects will actually have some some actual work done on them. And I'll get this sign posted off, and then we can stop worrying about knocking it every time I walk through the workshop. And probably I'm going to do a little bit more sign work while I'm in the mood. But what I'd like to do is make the spindle for these and this bracket, and probably put that aside till next time. And start making this look like it's going to be a good thing. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing, all that sort of stuff. Be kind to each other. Don't forget that there's t-shirts there somewhere if you're interested. If you're not, put your money into your workshop. That's a much, much more effective way to get enjoyment out of this channel. And more soon, guys and girls.